Okay, this is the directions for the beard. I've stitched the placement line along there, and we're going to take this and just spread it out in the middle and tape along there. And then we're going to stitch along there. Okay, here's our beard stitched out. So what I'm going to do is just take it off and set it aside. And we'll use this same stabilizer for our feet and legs. Okay, this is how you do the legs and the arms. I've stitched a placement line there. So we're going to want to lay, this is going to be the feet, and this is going to be the legs. And you want to lay that just like 1/4 of an inch above that. And we'll stitch along there. Okay, while I had it on the machine, I went ahead and stitched this placement line. And you want to just tear this off, and then you'll do the bottom part. And it's done more or less the same way. Lay it. This will be your feet. You want it on the bottom. And then the leg will go there. Okay, then you want to fold this up. And your other piece that you made before, you want to line it up and match up your seams. And then it'll go along and stitch out the legs. Okay, I almost forgot to tell you, when this stitch is here, you either want to watch this very carefully or put stabilizer over it so that it doesn't pull this seam down. Okay, here's the legs stitched out. So you want to cut them out, tear the stabilizer off, and just, there's not a whole lot of room between there to get them to fit in the hoop, so you want to be careful trimming there. There's just enough room. And then you want to clip the corners and the rounded part. Okay, here is the finished leg. I just stuffed, it's been clipped and turned, and I just stuffed about up to there just so it has dimension. This part I don't stuff. The arms are done the same way, so I'm not going to go through them step by step. You stitch out the placement and place them how you want. And then we'll proceed on to the hat. Okay, here's the start of the hat. I stitched the placement line. And this is the fabric for the hat. You can add felt if you want to. But what you want to do is place your fabric just about 1/4 of an inch below that placement line. And then this is the band. And you want to place it just on top of it. And then it'll stitch a line across there. Then this folds over and stitches some lines there so that you know where to fold this up, like that. And what that does is provide you a little slot to put the embellishments in. Okay, what we've done here, we stitched across there and stitched it together, and it stitched a line here. I folded this down and it stitches a line there so that you can fold this back up. And that way it gives you a little slot to put your embellishment. For this one it's the Valentine for the heart. And to do the back piece, I folded a little piece over, and then we'll want to stick it and line it up there, and it will stitch around the hat. Okay, here's our hat stitched out. And what we want to do is tear off the stabilizer and trim around and be sure and clip these curves and around this point and then turn it. Okay, here's our hat, and I stuffed it like that, about that much, so that we could stick it on the gnome. Okay, here I had a placement line, put a piece of felt down, did the facial, and for the body you'll want to lay it across there, and it sews across there. And same way, here's the girl one, and this will be her dress, and we're just going to lay it across there and sew across there. Okay, we folded this down, and I went ahead and stitched on the arms and stitched on the legs. And see, they all go up. So then what you want to do is you tear this off where those were stitched. And you can trim this off or leave it long, but what you want to do is flip your legs down and turn some to the inside. I'm going to leave it long and then trim it. And then this will stitch a stitch along here to hold this. I have the beard sewed on, and so now I'm going to applique the nose, and I'm going to put this here so that it doesn't catch on the beard. If you're doing a fur beard, you kind of do it the same way. You put your placement line on there and put a piece of fur on there and then trim it after you get it on, however, whatever shape you want it to look like. Okay, back to the girl now. We've done her face, the collar, and now we're getting ready to add the apron. And the apron is kind of a pain. You take your piece and you hand gather it and just sort of tape it, glue it, stick it. I don't like to use the spray on stuff. I guess it would work, but it seems to gum everything up. I have a sewing machine now that has it all over. And depending, I think the instructions say 4 by 10. Depending on the fabric you use and how thick you want the apron, you can kind of judge your size there. Okay, here's all our parts. Now all you gotta do is just put them together. Right now they look like Humpty Dumpty. And glue the hat on. And get this hat. Okay, I made this one in the pink, but she looks like she's got boobs, but oh well, we have a gnome with boobs. And then you end up with the dolls like this. And you can either just have them as shelf sitters. I had a bottle and it has lights in it that I use. Or you can put a stand on them and just have them sitting on the shelf. But that's what they look like when they're done. Cute little Valentine couple. Thank you for watching the video and hope it helps.